Another exciting guest. We've got Kory Woods in, our Woodward Sports Lions beat reporter.
How I'm going to follow him? I'm going to follow this.
Kory, first of all, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. And it is no easy act to follow, Stan Edwards, but you're going to be just fine. How's that shirt, man? You like that shirt?
Hey, man, the Hurt Business, that represents Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, and Sheldon Benjamin. They got back together last night on Monday Night Raw, so shout out to the Hurt. It's too late. I forgot about MVP. It should have never broke up.
Should have never broke them up, but, WWE came to their senses and, had the rocket today.
Vince McMahon, man, what a genius guy that does a lot of bonehead things.
Kory, break it down for us. So let's get to this Lions game. You were there. What was it like being in the stadium when Justin Tucker clanked it off the crossbar?
Well, it's like I said yesterday on the Morning Woodward show. Being prior to taking the job, I'm a fan. So being at home and you watching those Lions moments, you're like, oh, you're mad, you're sad, you're depressed when those moments that only happen to the Lions, you witness it on TV. But actually being there at Ford Field, that's something totally different. I've never heard a stadium been in a stadium that went that cheering to silent that fast. So it definitely sucked the life out of the place.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to be in an atmosphere like that. That actually happened one time when I was in the NFL. We were playing, when I was with the Jets, I was with Cleveland. We were playing Baltimore. Same thing happened. End of the game, Phil Dawson goes up, hits the ball, hits the back part of the upright. So not even the upright. It hit the back part about it and went in, and Baltimore just got completely quiet, man. Sucked the life out of it. Where do they go from now, Kory?
Well, I want to ask you a question, Braylon.
Yeah.
When the other teams are practicing before the game, do you guys go out there and say, hey, this guy's doing this guy's doing that while they're practicing? Do you run back and tell the coaches that? This is out for practice.
They have guys that do that for the coaches. They have guys that will watch each position and watch kickers, watch the quarterback, see what they're working on, and kind of maybe this might be something that they might use during the game. So if you talk about kicker kicking it from 65 plus,
because I'm saying like he was kicking 60-yarders and nailing them before the game. There's video. Did anybody just say that might not be a good idea to go get this guy 60 yards?
Well, he can
do it.
It's Justin Tucker.
He's hit a 61-yarder in Ford Field before.
He missed the 65-yarder in practice. He said it. I missed it in practice, and I'm just happy that they gave me a shot to redeem myself when it came down to it.
Yeah.
Kory, react to one of the things that I said yesterday that got a ton of hate, if you will, flack, was that I'm seeing things that are very similar to years past, regimes past. Why is this any different? And the people say, it took a 66-yarder all-time loss to get there. That's the point. That is the point. Just, everything that led up to that history-making loss for the Detroit Lions is exactly the point. Why is it different? It doesn't feel different right now.
Well, I'm going to say the regime right now, I think it's different. Just off of being at the practices, seeing the game, seeing how the players respond to the coaches, I think it's different. Just what happened Sunday, that's just the bad curse and juju of the Lions. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It can be Jim Schwartz. It can be Jim Caldwell. It can be Matt Patricia. It can be Dan Campbell. It's just that bad juju on the franchise that it seemingly can't shape. The Lions are just one of those franchises that bad things just has to happen to. But in the aspect of just, if you want to talk about that game, getting into that situation, some bad, questionable decisions in the end put Justin Tucker in position.
Why'd they call a timeout? What did he tell you guys?
Well, he said that the reason he called a timeout was they wanted to settle the defense and, to get the play. But here is my thing.
Settle the defense? They had him running all over the place.
But here's my thing. And I said that people want to talk about the delay of game. I think the delay of game was a cop-out because there were several things, in my opinion, that should not have happened going up into there. First off, when the Lions had the ball in the red zone, I felt they should have went. If they want to go ahead and go for the field goal, fine. But I felt they should have tried to get that first down, then go for the field goal, or just go ahead and try to punch it in and get the touchdown. That was my perspective because the thing is, granted, Lamar Jackson was not having the greatest day. He's still a former NFL MVP.
Yeah, like
Lamar
2 years
Jackson
ago.
is still dynamic. He's one of the, you keep giving a guy so many chances to beat you. One of those ways, he's going to figure out how to beat you. So what happened? They played and settled for the field goal. They got it, but what happened with the defense? Defense did his job. But to Maz's point, why do you call a timeout on that 4th and 19 when you have them reeling? Your defense got in that drive, 2 sacks, incomplete pass. Why not just let them? They're reeling. Why not go and trust your defense? Since you said that since you said you kicked the field goal because you trust your defense in that situation. But fine, you call a timeout. How, after coming out of a timeout, do you give up a 4th and 19?
What was Will Harris doing?
Well,
what was Will Harris doing?
In those two things, I think you hit on too that make me feel like it's very similar. Yes, they like this guy better than they like the last guy. They played hard.
That's not hard.
You're right. That's not hard to see.
Hard.
They hated the previous coach. They like this coach. I get it. It's great. And again, I'm not saying that it's not going to get turned around, but when is it going to get turned around? When you call a timeout, great. Call a timeout. Make sure everybody's on the same page during the timeout.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, Dan Campbell says, well, 10 guys were on the same page. 1 guy wasn't on the same page. How is that different? I'm asking the question. When you go for a field goal with a backup kicker that you just signed off the street, whose career long in an NFL game is 25 yards, you saw how quickly on Sunday Night Football, how quickly Aaron Rodgers and a good quarterback can get down the field. 2 plays it took Aaron Rodgers to win that game against the 49ers. 2 plays. Why would you allow that guy to get in a position to go 50 yards, which they did, and kick a field goal? I just don't get it.
He said that the odds were that Lamar Jackson would not. They were going to try to have Lamar Jackson beat them in that situation with his arm.
He did.
And he said that the odds were that
Was he Billy
that he
Bean
wouldn't
now
do
talking about the
it.
odds?
But he said the odds were that he wouldn't do it. But the thing is, that's where I said I disagree. The guy is still an NFL MVP.
Yeah,
Lamar he's a dynamic, runner as a quarterback, but he still throws the ball.
Kory, they didn't even rush him on 4th down. They didn't do what they did the first 3 downs. They called the timeout. The Ravens changed the play, and the Lions rushed 3 guys. And if you show the video, he had 10 minutes. He just sat there. And, of course, Sammy Watkins gets open.
How big of a week is this? And when you get back to practice tomorrow and talk to the guys tomorrow, how big of a week of a practice is this going up against the Bears? Look forward now, because, I'll play the old John Gruden, Frank Caliendo, win. You look at the schedule, and if you don't win this week, Braylon,
Chicago, yeah.
It's loss. If you don't win this week, if you don't win this week, you look at you're staring down 0-7 before Philadelphia comes here.
I think they could pull out one. I'm just going to say I think they could pull out one against the Bengals. I truly do.
I don't know about that.
It's to me, but I think the Bears game right now, with how the Lions have been playing and the way the Bears been playing, I think that's really a pick'em game. It's
whoever's at home.
I don't know where the Lions go from here if they do not win this week, but I believe that against the Bears and the way that defenses have been getting after Justin Fields, I believe that they have a shot.
I don't even know it's just about where do they go from here. I think it's where's the consistency? Like, what part of yourself do you believe in? And like I have said, they're not a good football team, so we need to start lowering our standards. But with that being said, like when you're gonna develop some sense of consistency, like one game it's nothing in the first half, then it's everything in the fourth quarter. Next game it's everything in the first half, nothing in the second half. Then the next game it's not too much of anything, but we'll do enough to try to hold Lamar Jackson to 17 or 19 points, not to mention he had 2 touchdowns that his receiver just didn't seem to want to catch. So where do you go from here? Like, where's the consistency in the run game? Like, where's using the run to set the pass?
I think where the Lions have to go from here is really focus on this offense, because I have seen the defense improve in each game.
They got 4 sacks on Lamar Jackson, which says a lot about what they're doing defensively. You have to show some credit to that.
Yeah, so I've seen them do things defensively. Like, okay, you know what? First game, 49ers, we saw what it was. Second game, okay, it's Aaron Rodgers, but I still believe they played well. Just if he went down, things happen. Okay, everything went off the rails. Lamar, I don't really have a I don't have anything bad to say about the defense. I think they played as well as they could. But the offense did not give him a chance.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things is that Jared Goff does have to play better. He has to be a better thrower of the football. But also, too, Jared Goff is not playing with the guys that he thought he was going to play with. He thought he was going to have – coming into training camp, he thought he was going to have a Terrell Williams, going to have a Brashad Perriman, going to have a Quintez Cephas as the number 3. This past game, he had Khalif Raymond, Quintez Cephas, Amon, Ross St. Brown. Khalif Raymond was not brought in to be a number 3 or 4 wide receiver. He was brought in for the special teams.
Played pretty well, though.
He played well. And like I said, I've seen some things, some chemistry with them throughout preseason, but those are not guys that I think that he's going to get it done with.